Good afternoon and welcome once again to another episode of Digital Toolkit 2022, the only place to get the latest tools, tips and advice to help your business grow online. Today's session, we are very privileged to have Lynne Spalding from Business Wellness Hub, who is not only the director and founder of the Business Wellness Hub, but also the Australian Certified MYOB Consultant of the Year. Did I get that right?
Yes, close enough. Yeah.
Well, as I said, we're really pleased to have Lynne on board today, and she's going to share her story with us and a bit more about MYOB as a cloud-based software. So welcome, Lynne, and thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Katrina. Yes, I've been around the industry for quite a while now. I've worked in an accounting practice for 20 years. Really found it frustrating that we weren't helping the small business owners with a more hands-on approach. So I decided to do accounting software support and did my certification in MYOB. So that was about 20 years ago now. So yeah, a lot of problem solving and a lot of understanding the difficulties for small business owners and trying to provide a solution for them. Probably about 2 years ago now, we rebranded. I discovered through my own health scare, meditation and yoga, and I realized it had a drastic impact on my own business. It gave me a lot of clarity, a lot more confidence around my business. So we rebranded to the Business Wellness Hub. So we provide the accounting software support, BAS agents, but we're also looking after the wellness of the business owner. Because let's face it, if the business owner isn't well, they don't have a business to run with it, your sole traders. So it's really about helping them with their mindset, their wellness, and moving forward with the growth of their business with confidence and with life balance instead of all the stress and overwhelm.
That's quite a unique approach for accounting and bookkeeping, Lynne. So absolutely brilliant. Way to stand out in the industry for sure. I wanted to ask you about what I guess prompted your amazing award that you've recently won for the MYOB Consultancy of the Year in Australia.
Yes, the Australian. So I've been working with MYOB for 20 years and they started these awards with recognition, and I've always looked up to the people who've won them because I thought, they've really put in a hard effort. And when we changed our approach and had a more holistic approach, we decided to enter the award. And that's what drew MYOB's attention to us, that we're providing a full service and not just focusing on one thing. So they really like that concept and want to work with that. And I really appreciated that a company that size recognised the importance of mental well-being and wellness as a key to running a business.
That's brilliant. I mean, just meeting you and knowing you as a colleague, and then just looking at the background in your office, it doesn't look like an accountant's office. Like when you walk into a tax agent or BAS agent accounting firm, you see folders everywhere, you see calendars and scrum boards and things like that. So your background of your office is just so welcoming and not scary, so just meeting with you, it puts you at ease. You're so easy to talk to. So
and that's why I did start my business. A lot of business owners I was talking to didn't want to speak to their accountant because they didn't understand what they were saying. They're very fearful of it. So I wanted to break down that fear. And there's no such thing as a silly question. So I think it's great if people can ask a question and re-ask it again. Obviously, I hadn't explained it the way they understood. So it's about empowering them to be able to ask questions and be comfortable around the finances of their own business.
Well, I know, being a sole trader myself, that there's a lot of aspects of your business, financial and otherwise, that can potentially be overwhelming. So I guess, you know, what would be your number one piece of advice for small business owners, particularly sole traders, to help, you know, reduce some of that overwhelm?
Probably make sure you've got support. I know the accounting software is advertised and marketed like it does it itself, and it's very easy. It is a really good tool, but things can go wrong if you don't understand the basic principles. So I just find if you've got someone to ask questions to and understand what you're doing rather than just pushing the buttons, you'll get more accurate information, and you can use the software as a tool as opposed to just going, oh, I've got to do this for my tax, I've got to do this for my GST. But really being conscious of what you're coding and where you're putting it, so that you can get an understanding of what's going on with the figures. Because we do get a lot of data files in at new clients, and there's just inconsistency with the allocations, which is just like a jigsaw puzzle trying to put it back together. So I always say to people, if you consistently put it in the same place, even if it's the wrong place, we can easily move it to the correct place. But if you're putting it here, there and everywhere, and people often do that because they're not doing their allocations regularly, they come to the end of the quarter and go, oh, I've got to do my best, and then do a quarter's worth of allocations and without a lot of thought. So we're really trying to encourage our clients to at least monthly, preferably weekly, so that your data is all up to date. So if the bank asks for information, if your accountant asks for information, or even you knowing who owes you money, you can rely on your software. But if the work's not done, you actually haven't got timely information to be able to find out, you know, who owes me money when.
No, that's brilliant, Lynne. So we're obviously, you know, talking about the software, utilizing the software itself. So we might step into the MYOB. And I mean, I personally use Xero, but we're, you know, I'm very curious about MYOB as you know, as an option for bookkeeping and accounts. So tell me about MYOB. What's it like as a cloud-based software?
Yeah, well, both of those products are two good products. They're local. MYOB is local and designed for the Australian, New Zealand economy. So we know that the GST is done correctly. They've got a good relationship with the tax office, so that they're things like single touch payroll coming in phase 2. They're negotiating, talking through, making sure that their software is compliant, get extensions if they need to. So it's for this environment, whereas there's cheaper software out there, but often it's overseas for their environment. So you can't be guaranteed that the actual tax is going to be calculated correctly, or the wages are compliant with our requirements in Australia.
That's a brilliant aspect to consider when looking at the software, that it should carry the GST functions. So it's really good to know MYOB does that automatically. So that's great.
Yes, and it's easy, even if you're not registered for GST yet. It's a good idea to build your foundation so that it's so much easier to convert once you get to that $75,000 threshold, that you've already got the systems in place and you can just convert over and start recording your GST correctly.
So just out of curiosity, you know, you do come across a lot of small businesses who are running their initial, like just as a startup, they're using Excel spreadsheets and things like that, and shoe boxes, you know, for receipts and whatnot. But how would they go from this very manual system to getting onto MYOB?
It's a very easy process these days. Definitely there's starter packages in the software that at the moment they've got deals on $12 a month. So why would you be on Excel or shoe boxes when, you know, if you're running a business, that's not a significant cash flow. And of course, the price goes up as you grow, but at least to get you into the system.
Yeah.
They have a product called Capture, which is an app on your phone. So instead of holding all those receipts, you can take a photo of the receipt and upload it into your software. They've also got associations with, for example, Bunnings Trade, Office Works, Trade Link. So the dockets, the invoices can be emailed directly to your in-tray in MYOB, and then you can attach it to the invoice, or you can create a new invoice in the system and it auto-fills as much information a day, the description into the software, so you don't have to double handle it. And it's great for those bigger businesses where, you know, those receipts go missing if you've got staff members, especially tradies, and they get lost in the ute or disappear. This way you're getting it directly through the software, so it eliminates those issues with lost receipts and tax invoices.
So definitely make it easier for the bookkeeper or tax agent to get things done come tax time.
Yeah, and for the owners too, because time is money. So why pay your accountant to be doing something that you can easily do? And it's about structure, good systems for your business. So it's so easy for an accountant to misinterpret things for your business if they're working off figures all over the place that aren't accurate. This pulls it all together, and you know, it's going to reduce costs for you, as well as giving you opportunities to learn more. I know a lot of business owners fear the finance side of it. It's not often there. They're very creative people and very good in their industry. But once it's your business, and this is where we take a very caring, gentle approach and patience with them, that, you know, you can learn and understand your figures, so that you're not waiting 12 months till you've given it to the accountant to find whether you've made a profit or not. We work with them to make sure that they understand it can make changes. If your expenses are getting too large, you're right on the ball with the figures. If the bank's made a mistake, you're onto it and can deal with it straight away. If you don't, you wait 12 months and then realise that something's gone through your account that isn't yours, very difficult to go back to the bank and try and get that fixed. Whereas if it's within a few days, it can get sorted a lot quicker. And this happens. You wouldn't believe the things that happen. Wrong accounts getting paid through wrong bank accounts that it isn't even yours, and you know, bank fees creeping up that you're not aware of. So it's just setting intentions around your finances to understand them and be proactive to make sure that that money, that profit ends up with you instead of handing it to everybody else.
So I've got a quick question there with regards to, you know, utilising cloud-based software like MYOB. For those who, I guess, are less, you know, technically inclined, so those who potentially, you know, don't want to spend hours working with, you know, a software interface and that, how much time do you think a business should or would spend for allocations, and how often should they do it?
Yeah, well, it depends on the number of transactions through their bank account. There are bank rules. So if you have the same thing coming through each day, like from Shopify, something like that, you can set it up so it'll automatically code it to fees, and you've just got to approve it to reduce time. So look, it really should be, I do it daily. Minimum of weekly. If you've only got a few transactions through your bank account, you might like to just weekly, but even with a few, you know, it's on top. If anyone pays you, you're applying it against their invoice, so at any time you know who owes you money. Whereas if you don't do your allocations regularly, how do you know if they've paid the invoice or not? So another key thing people don't understand too, I get this all the time. Why do you ask for bank statements when we have bank feeds coming through into our software? those bank fees, we need to make sure they reconcile against the actual what's happened through the bank account. Often, not often, but it can happen, there will be duplicate entries or entries go missing through the feeds. So if you don't know, if you don't reconcile it against your actual bank statements, you're working with inaccurate data. So that's at least once a month for our clients, we like to reconcile the bank statements with the accounting software to make sure that all the entries in there are accurate, and then you're relying on accurate information.
Brilliant. I think you pretty much answered all of my questions. I guess the only thing that I would ask you is, you know, how user-friendly is it overall? I mean, someone who would not have any experience previously with accounting software and going from, you know, I've got this, like how's user-friendly and how quick could someone take it on board?
Look, the accounting software can do an awful lot, but they have redesigned it so data entry is reduced. So in the old days, you used to have to sit there and really understand accounting. The way it's designed now, you don't actually have to understand those accounting principles. It's more about allocating the bank feeds. Yeah, so it is easy, but what I suggest, I do a training initially and we only spend an hour together and people can go off and running. But there's a lot more that the software can do. So then after they've used it for a month, we come back and do another training and then I teach them a bit more. So it can be as sophisticated as you want it to be. But if you're just starting out, I always say, let's keep it simple. Let's get the basics done so that we can utilize the information. And then as their confidence grow and their understanding grow, then we can implement some more features that they can use in the software. So it's an ongoing process.
Pretty fast. I mean, just to spend an hour and then kind of have enough to get going, that's brilliant.
Yeah. So why would you bother with the shoebox when it yeah.
No, that's brilliant. Well, it sounds like MYOB is pretty amazing as a solution for small businesses. So really appreciate you sharing with us, you know, how you bring businesses on board for MYOB, and obviously, you know, what essentially makes you stand out as the MYOB Australian Consultant of the Year, which is brilliant. So really pleased to have you on board with us today for the toolkit, Lynne. Thank you so much for sharing.
No worries, it's a pleasure. I'd just like to quickly say too that people who've been using MYOB for a while, they're probably used to the old style. They have spent a lot of money and redeveloped a new product, and they're merging their desktop software and their internet-based software together to one product called MYOB Business. So you need to revisit if you've been using it the old way. There is a fresh, newer approach now that's a lot more modern looking, a lot more, better features. So it's worth revisiting again if it's something that you looked at it and went, oh, that looks a bit out of date. They've certainly spent a lot of time and effort improving and modernising it.
That sounds very exciting. Lots of people to bring up to speed, I guess, with that one too, with the new changes. So thank you for mentioning. Just thought I might ask as well, Lynne, is there anything new and exciting at Business Wellness Hubs? Anything that you've recently introduced?
Yes, in February we launched our new online software course that we're running, a 6-week course. It's the first time I've done an online course, but it's for those people. It's called the Financial Freedom Formula. And for those people just starting out in business, the sole traders who find managing their money a little bit overwhelming and difficult. So I've broken it down into simple, easy steps to help them get a bit more structure around and separating their business to their finances of their personal nature. So yeah, we're really excited about that. We've got some offers on at the moment because it's just been released. So I can put some information in for you, but yeah, it's exciting for us, and watch this space. We're going to be doing some more online courses as well.
Very exciting. Thank you for sharing. For everyone who's watching, please do go and check out the Financial Freedom course.
Financial Freedom Formula. Yeah, so it's on our website. Yeah, if you go to our website, it's got all the resources in there and information as well.
Check out the link below for businesswellnesshub.com.au, and just as also there is a link there for you to reach out directly to Lynne if you've got any questions about MYOB or potentially the Financial Freedom Formula course online, or if you've simply got some general questions about accounting and bookkeeping. She is amazing to work with. She is my accountant, so very, very pleased to have her on board as well within Ranking Australia, and she's keeping us up to date, and I get regular emails to keep me on track as well, which is brilliant. It's I don't think I've been on top of things as much as I have been, thanks to Lynne and her staff at Business Wellness Hub. So once again, thank you for that. Very exciting session. Thank you for sharing about MYOB and sharing your story as well there, Lynne. And looking forward to your next session.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
All right, so everyone make sure you register and stay apprised for the Digital Toolkit and what's coming up next to, one, get paid, get found, and grow your business online. Bye for now.
Bye.